Good morning, everyone. Happy day 14. This is the 14th straight day that we have gone live here. And if you're watching on video, I am home. I am home from Dallas, had an amazing trip. Obviously, I was kind of bringing you guys into it on day 12 and 13, and probably even a couple days before that, as we were there for several days. But it was just amazing. So I'm glad to be home. It's kind of a dreary Sunday, which is kind of nice because when I left, it was 113 and wildfires everywhere, I should say. And then this morning when I was in my quiet time, I saw like mist on my windshield. I was stoked. I never thought I'd be so happy to see that. So we are cozy on this Sunday and just gearing up for a big week ahead. We are less than a month away from a massive event, our biggest event of the year inside of our companies. So we are full steam ahead with lots of things. But as I was coming on to day 14, I actually had another topic in mind, but I just felt like I wasn't done. I wasn't done. And there's so much more that we could really press in on when it comes to stewarding your time. Now, on day 12, we talked about a lot of really great things, but I actually didn't even scratch the surface of the notes that I had of what we can really dive into when it comes to stewarding your time. And I got a lot of feedback on that one. A lot of people saying, I know I need to be better with my time. I get to be better with my time. And I told these people, be proud of the progress you've made so far, but keep going. Don't discount the progress you've made so far. And we get to keep going. So a couple things that we'll dive into here today when it comes to stewarding your time, part 2, because this is a part 2 because we went over a lot of really great stuff on day 12. If you have not listened to that, you can always go back and watch a replay on any of the channels this is streaming live on because the replays will be up. Facebook, LinkedIn, also on YouTube. There's a playlist. There's a playlist that I put all together of all these lives so you can have easy access to that. But a couple of things when it comes to stewarding your time that I've definitely been asked about to talk more in depth on when it comes to prioritization of tasks, setting clear goals, boundaries, time blocks, distractions. But a lot of it will stem around resting, recharging, and results. I should probably flip that around. Results, resting, and recharging are huge, absolutely huge. And here we are on a Sunday as I'm recording this. And this definitely for a lot of people tends to be a day of rest. And you should have a Sabbath. It's biblical to have a Sabbath. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, when he was done creating, he brought in a day of rest, not for him, but for us. And how many of us actually take that? How many of us actually are like, okay, I'm going to have a day of rest. Sundays, no work. Yes, we may have to get some errands done. Yes, there's going to be church. And we get to rest and recharge. Hear me when I say this. If there is no resting and recharging of the brain, the body, the mind, the spirit, how do you expect to get the results that you're after? Truthfully, a lot of us, and I used to be one of these, we talked about this on probably day 12, team no sleep. I used to be on team no sleep when I got into entrepreneurship. It was the thing, right? And I'm just like, it's so unhealthy. And as there are more supplements and other things coming onto the market to help with, your body and just the results that you're after, your body needs certain things to get there. But ultimately, no pill, no cream, no nothing, no drink, no food is ever going to replace physical rest. So I'm actually going to probably start at the end and then we're going to go to other topics. But I just really feel like we need to hit on the topic of rest because so many of us don't have it. And in the topic of rest, we actually have to create a boundary around it. We have to, and we get to. I need to get at least X amount of hours of sleep. I need to be able to rest and recharge as much as possible so I can get the results that I need for that day. I need to get things done. Now, I fully understand there's different seasons of life. I have a lot of friends that are brand new moms or that obviously have been moms. And they're like, look, the first 2 to 3 years of that baby's life, there is no you, it's all them. And I have come to understand that as much as possible without going through it myself. So there will be seasons where it won't be as much as you want, but we still have to say no to things that maybe we don't want to in order to replenish ourselves. And it's hard to say no to things, right? It's hard to say no. But we get to steward our time. What is this going to do in the grand scheme? Is it going to pour into a relationship that I value? Is it going to pour into myself? Is it going to make me better, make them better? Or is it just kind of a time filler, a waste of time because I just wanted to do something and I don't like being alone? Well, let me tell you, if you are somebody that wants different results, you have to be able to find time to rest and recharge. In order to rest and recharge, you have to create boundaries. Now, many of us, boundaries are like something that we've never really created before. It's hard. It really is. But we have to get good at saying no to things so we can give a better yes to other things. We have to get good at saying no to things so we can give a better yes to other things. Just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it's a God idea. Have you ran it by him first? Have you ran it by him first? So many of us just want to be able to insert this, insert that because I want a faster answer, but it may not always be the best answer. Sometimes no answer at all is the best answer, and just be okay with that. That is hard. That has taken me so long to somewhat get used to, and I'm still getting used to it. So it definitely is not an easy thing, but it's so key. So in order to steward your time, to value yourself, that is ultimately going to show others that you value them, right? You have to create a boundary to rest and recharge. You have to. Now, another thing too, when it comes to the results part, because I know there's a lot of people that follow me on here that are looking for different results, period. Maybe physical in their body, maybe spiritual, because they're just like, I want to feel something. I want something deeper, something more meaningful in their business. Maybe it's in their relationships, in their marriage. We have to be able to focus on what's the bigger picture, right? We have to focus on the why. So let's look at this for a second. When we want different results, yes, resting and recharging are key pieces of that, because let's just think of something that takes batteries. If the remote control for the TV that you turn on every night, if the batteries are out, you can't turn the TV on. Yes, you can get up and maybe go click it on in the back or whatever if TVs still have that function. But you need batteries in order to operate the remote. Our battery is constantly drained and we're wondering why. We're sick, we're stressed, we're anxious, we're overweight. We're not getting the results that we want. So let's focus on this for a second. You have to measure productivity by outcomes rather than hours spent. Remember what we talked about? I believe it was yesterday on day 12, busy being a 4-letter curse word. Don't come around me and tell me you're busy. That may be true. Find a better word. Are you busy just filling your time with things, spending hours on things that actually aren't producing a result? Or are you being productive? Where the definition I just gave you, not definition, but I should say like phrase rather, you have to measure the productivity by the outcomes rather than the hours spent working on such thing. Your marriage, relationships, things that really matter to you, getting different results in your business, physically. Like if you're not happy with the way you look in the mirror, what are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to change it? Can I just like take a little tangent here for a second? I am so sick and tired of this Ozempic shot being such a hot commodity. I'm irritated. I'm disgusted by it. Truly. To each their own wanting to take it, but why would you put chemicals like that in your body to then flush certain things out when you can eat better, you can exercise regularly and drink more water? Like why? It drives me insane. It's the hot thing. It's the hot thing. It's the hot thing. You know what? Like that thing is toxic and it's horrible. And it's like, it's just going to leave you worse than when it found you. I'm sorry. Like, I just have to say it. It drives me insane. People are trying to find the shortcuts rather than doing the work. It literally drives me insane. Now, somebody might come hit me with, well, you don't know my body chemistry. You don't know I go through this, I go through that. I get there's outliers and different things out there, but ultimately that is cheating yourself. There's so many things that people just cheat themselves rather than doing the work. Truthfully, what did I talk about on day 12? I got so sick of saying, hey, I want to spend time with you, Lord. And I didn't do it for years until I started waking up earlier and earlier. Nobody that I know gets up as early as I do. Nobody that I know. But it's something that I value, and I could care less if people get it or not. But I wanted it. I needed it. And it has blessed my life immensely. It's brought me more peace, more joy, more love, deeper relationship with the Lord, all the above. But yeah, the Ozempic shot drives me insane. I'm like, don't. It's such a hot thing. Like everybody has it. I see med spas everywhere carrying it. I'm just like, do the work, period. Do the work. Do the work. So back on the results, like you have to be able to measure productivity by the outcomes, not the hours spent. Also, another thing, a lot of us are going to get hit with this. You got to avoid busy work and focus on activities that move the needle. You have to be able to focus on activities that are going to move the needle. And those are typically going to be the harder ones. Now, I've talked about this a little bit in prior lives that we've done during these 30 days, or I should say 14 days up until now. Find your most productive hours in the day. Do the things you may not want to do, but are going to move the needle during those most productive hours. So mine typically are from like 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's prime time for me. Prime time. Now I can get a lot done before noon. After 12, not my most productive, but I know that the things that I need to do the most need to happen between like 7 or 8, between like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock. I know those have to be done. So I can't have things get in the way unless it's an emergency, then we reprioritize. But I have to get things done. Otherwise the needle won't move because I know myself that I won't do it later or it will take me 4 times as long. So you have to find those times where it's a boundary that you set. It's a non-negotiable to get those things done. Discipline. When it comes to stewarding your time, it's a massive amount of discipline. I've actually learned to love the word discipline. I've loved it. Now, I used to hate it because I used to get in trouble a lot. Like I couldn't lie to save my, like I always got in trouble because I tried to lie and hide something. Nope. I got in trouble a lot as a little kid. I felt like I was grounded all the time because I would try to like sneak around and it was just like, it was dumb. But I hated discipline then, but I love it now. Why? Because discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. The thoughts you choose to hold on to, the food that you choose to eat. Most of the time, we can always have cheat meals. You know, there's certain things like I don't drink anymore, not because I can't. What good does it do for my body? What good? For me, one thing that I know about me is I have an addictive personality. I just know it. Like when I like something, I am on it till the nth. And so when I used to smoke weed, when I used to drink, back when I like wasn't a long stint, but I dabbled in some drugs, like I went hard in the paint. I went hard in the paint because I'm like, oh, I love this more. Very scary. You have an addictive personality, the wrong thing, very scary. So me knowing that, and when I love something, I want to go all in. I've had to really set up disciplines and self-restraint in order to like really dig down deep. Why are we doing this? Why do we want this? And then most of the time it fizzles out. Now, one thing that's kind of funny that people think I'm super weird for is, for example, I don't keep ice cream in my fridge very often and chips. I don't keep chips in my cupboard or ice cream in my freezer. Ice cream in my freezer, not fridge. It would melt in the fridge. Why do I do that? I know if it's in there, I will eat it. So if I really want chips or ice cream, I give myself like 5 days of, do you really want it? Do you really want it? And if it keeps coming up after 5 days, then I'll go buy it. Typically, I'll go buy a smaller bag of chips or buy just like a little, like a scoop of ice cream at a shop and I don't bring it home because I know I'll just keep going. I just don't stop. I'm like, oh, I deserve that. I had a hard day. I had a long day. I deserve that. So before I even get it, I give myself a few days of like, wait, why are we eating this? Is it because we really want to? Are we trying to feed our feelings? What are we doing here? You know, but I don't keep it in the house because I know I will destroy it all, especially chips, all kinds of chips. My gosh, not the healthy kinds. Forget the healthy kinds. Like just like straight up grease ball. Like, oh, I love chips, but I don't keep them in the house because I know I will destroy them all day, every day. Does my temple need that all day, every day? No. Another thing, I love Dr. Pepper. Say what you want. Dr. Pepper is horrible for you, but here's what I don't do. I don't bring Dr. Pepper into my house. If I want it, I'll have it at a restaurant. And I might go overboard at a restaurant. I might have like 3 or 4 glasses. Like don't judge, but hey, you know, but I just don't bring it in the house because I know I'll drink it all day long. So if I want it, it's a specialty thing when I go out. Not every time, but sometimes. So I'm stewarding those things because I know me. I'm stewarding like, what is it that I want to put in my body? And we'll see if we want it after 5 days. People are like, that's crazy. And I'm like, but it's discipline. Discipline is huge. And a lot of people don't have it because once you get older, you can literally just do not everything you want, but a lot more than when you were a kid, obviously. So we get to be disciplined with the things we think about, things we listen to, how we steward our time, everything. That's why the whole like premise of this, not that every single live over the next like, we got like 16 more days together. We're on day 14 right now. It won't maybe all be on stewardship, but a lot of it has to be because a lot of people don't really realize how they're stewarding certain things like time. We've talked about relationships, business. We'll talk about finances at some point. Like, there's a lot of things that we get to steward that we aren't, and we're asking for more, but we're not stewarding what we have now. Like if you can't steward your time that you have now, but you're like, I want to have more time freedom. If you can't steward the little time that you have now, but then you get more time freedom, what are you going to do at that time? It's likely going to be wasted. It's likely going to be wasted. So steward the little time that you have now, maximize it. And then when you have more later, you know how to use it. Like, come on. I've talked to, say I get an Uber, for example. A lot of retired people do Uber because they retire and then they're bored. And I'm just like, okay, so how they're stewarding their time is they're making some money. They're driving people around because they're retired. A lot of people look at, I can't wait to retire so I can just do whatever I want. But then most people don't even use that time wisely. They don't. One of the things that's really cool when it comes to retirement, my parents retired, I think it's like 2 years now. And then they actually had a beautiful home that was a floating home on a river in Oregon. Gorgeous. Like everybody wanted to come over and they did all the time. It was just stunning. Like back deck, here's the water. Like it was phenomenal. When homes were at its all-time high during COVID, my parents just got a word from the Lord. They sold top dollar, made a lot of money on their home. They pretty much put everything in a storage unit. They got an RV and they started traveling around the country. It's been really cool to watch. And one of the things that my parents, especially my mom, that is really like her and I get to talk about this all the time. The Lord's just really drawing her in. And she's using a lot of that free time, not only to travel and have fun with my dad, and my aunt and uncle do it with them too. And some friends do it. So they have this little caravan of people. It's pretty cool. But they really dig in deep to be like, okay, Lord, what are you showing us? What's next? What's next? Right? Like they could have stayed in that home more than fine, set up, loving it there. But they now live out of an RV. And it's like, now they live in Florida. They don't even live on the West Coast where I live. And they're always trying to get me to move to Florida. I'm like, nope, I will take my wildfires and my earthquakes over hurricanes and gators. No, thank you. But watching how my mom is stewarding that time is so incredible. Because you don't have to do that. It's free will, but she wants to. She's hungry. How many of us are hungry to steward that free time to be like, Lord, what's next? And really bring him in? Truthfully. There are so many people right now that I know are getting wrecked because they're still trying to do it on their own strength, which is a waste of their time rather than being like, Lord, I want to do it with you. What does that look like? I mean, come on. Huge. Okay, a couple of things when it comes to stewarding your time. Hopefully you guys are picking up something here. If you are, drop it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay, put hashtag live. If you're on live, like I want to know what's coming up for you. Like, let's talk about this together. A couple other things when it comes to stewarding your time. Oh, here's a big one in my notes. Be flexible yet disciplined. Be flexible yet disciplined. Allow for flexibility in your schedule, but maintain discipline in following through on essential tasks. Adjust plans as necessary, but avoid procrastination. Being focused, but when things shift and change, be fluid like water. Man, that has been hard for me. It has, but it's so key because when you're flexible, knowing there's so many things outside of your control, you're not spending your time, oh gosh, it didn't go this way, it didn't go my way, I'm this, I'm that, and you get frustrated, wasting time being irritated rather than, you know what, okay, then we're going to pivot, but we're still going to get these certain things done. Huge. Another one, this is a big one, practice delegation. Delegate tasks to others so they can start doing them, freeing up your time for higher value activities. Also, trusting others with responsibility to maximize your overall efficiency and having grace in the meantime. When you delegate, people will do it different ways. They may not do it right. They may mess up, having grace for that. But when you can delegate other things that can free up your time to put you in a more productive state, huge. Whether you're having somebody meal prep your meals, you're getting meal prep. You have a cleaner that comes in. You have kids and you're like, okay, I need you to pick up this, that, and the other thing. You know, maybe you're a wife and you're always doing all the things and the husband's sitting on the couch. Hey, can you take out the trash? Can you help me with the dishes? Like Really delegate and like build in those things. Don't just do it because you can and you have it done your way and you like that better. Like delegate, free up some of that time, bring other people in. Bring other people in. Set clear goals. Setting clear goals is a huge part of stewarding your time. A lot of people are like, well, I just want more money. I just want more time. I just want this and that. Okay, so what do you need to accomplish? What results do you need to have in order to go after those things? Great, I need to have these type of results. I need to be making $15,000 a month or something. I don't know. Okay, well, then what do you need to do to make $15,000 a month? Well, my job is bringing in this, or I have a side hustle that's bringing in that, or I'm an entrepreneur and I need this many team members. I need this many clients. Like reverse engineer and go after it. Like I love reverse engineering when it comes to business. I'm actually, I just finished an amazing program that is going to be released in October in our company that honestly, people can buy retail from anywhere. You don't have to be a member here. You can get it retail, but it is like the bee's knees when it comes to how to grow your network, how to grow your net worth, how to talk to people, how to really be able to maximize the efforts that you're putting in and it go way beyond just the efforts of your own. Like it is huge. It's all the training I've ever had and ever done rolled into 4 weeks with scripts, with like activities and results that are going to come out on the other end. Because I've helped countless people get results from them time and time again. But people get caught up in the, oh, well, I'm not talking to enough people. I don't know what to say to people. And then they stop there. They're trying to sell over serve. And they're not focused enough on growing their network. Oh, and so when people want more business, typically it's a reflection on their network isn't big enough. They're not talking to enough people. They're not really valuing people and serving people and getting to know them and doing their due diligence. True business people, I got on a call the other day for a gal who's going to be on my podcast. She really dug in, did her research. She's like, I know I can talk about faith with you because I did my research and homework on you. I dug into all your profiles and I see that you really value this, this, and this. Gave me specifics. You do that to people every time. You take that time and you share something with them that they value, that you see from them. People will want to do business with you all day or refer to you all day. Oh, it's so good. I can't wait for that course to be released in October. It's going to be great. Anyway, setting clear goals is huge. You have to be specific. It has to be measurable, achievable, has to be relevant and time bound. Time bound is huge. A lot of people are just like, oh, I want to get X, Y, and Z, but they don't put a time limit on it. And then they don't have anything measurable. Then they're just kind of like, it's just a wish and a want that never gets accomplished. And they're like, oh, well, this opportunity failed. No, you failed it. You did not set clear goals. You did not achieve what you said that you wanted. And then you blamed it on the opportunity or the person or the coach or the thing when really it was you. Most of the time it's us, but there are some other factors, but most of the time it's us. Now, when you have a bigger goal, say, for example, $15,000 a month was somebody's goal, right? You break that goal into smaller goals, manageable goals to stay on track. If you're only making 5,000 right now, but you want 15, then have some benchmarks with some time of, okay, how do I get to 8? How do I get to 12? How do I get to 15? Like set some benchmarks and keep expanding, keep growing. If you need support, you need help, like of people helping you with that, reach out. I would love to be able to share with you some resources that can really help you with that. Because a lot of people don't have people that will stand in the gap for them to help them set achievable goals and clear goals. I hear so many people, I want, I wish, I pray, I hope. Well, what are you doing? Faith without works is dead. If you have these big goals, but yet you're not willing to do what it takes to go after it, like, then it's going to move on to somebody else. This is where the prioritization, I'm not saying that right. Prioritizing, we're just going to keep it there. The prioritization, there it is, of time is huge. Prioritization of time is huge. Establishing boundaries is huge. Setting clear goals is huge. Really being able to delegate is huge. Being flexible yet disciplined is huge. Rest and recharge is huge. All of these are huge. And I hope there's something here that really resonates with you. Maybe one or two, maybe in the next month or two, like there's other ones that stand out. But this is something we constantly get to be aware of so we can get better at. So we can be those examples that people need to see. People need to see good examples of what strong, focused, disciplined kingdom people look like. And maybe you don't consider yourself a kingdom person, just a good person that has good morals and really wants to serve people because it's bigger than them. There's so many people out there just out for themselves. And yes, as a byproduct, you will receive. But like we get to be the ones to go out there to steward the time that we've been given for people to be like, there's something different about you. And I want to know what, because come on, y'all, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. I don't want to look like, smell like, anything like the world, but I'm in it. I'm living it. I've been given an opportunity to steward the time that I have so I can bring more people closer to God through my actions, through my purpose, through my marriage, through how I steward my time, my body, everything. And one day my kids and my future family. Oh, it's so good. This is why I needed a part 2. Can you tell? We needed a part 2. It wasn't for me. It was for so many others because so many people skip over the time factor, yet we want more of it. But we don't know how to steward the time that we have. So I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know. Tag me on Instagram. Tag me anywhere if you have a takeaway and you post it. Because when you're learning and you share that, that could be revelation knowledge for somebody else. It goes way deeper than us. But then also take the time on whatever resonated with you here. Journal about it. Dig in with it. And really see why. Keep digging down. Why? Why? All right, everybody. I'm excited to come back for day 15 tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to rest and recharge because as I'm recording this, this is a Sunday. Great day to rest and recharge. Even if it's not a Sunday when you're listening to this. Take some time to rest and recharge today, even if it's 10 minutes. Close your eyes. Take deep belly breaths. Rest and recharge. We'll see you tomorrow for day 15.